ya, Steph.
Hi, I'm Steph. I recently graduated from the University of Chicago, and I'm here to share my unfiltered, candid college experience. To be honest, I've been a bit scared to put this video out there. I was scared that my experience wasn't as fun or exciting as other people's because college truly was not the best 4 years of my life. But I think the biggest reason was because putting this video out there would mean admitting that it's over. Although college is filled with ups and downs, I really do miss it. And the post-grad life is so scary, guys. But before I share with you my next moves in life, I want to share a bit about my college experience, starting from day one. I did not have a good freshman year. I was in a long-distance relationship for the first half. My weekends were spent visiting my long-distance boyfriend at the time, so I really didn't get a chance to make that many friends. I was also a sweat when it came to school, so I didn't really go to any parties. But despite all that, I was able to make a few friends and spend some really fun moments with them, until COVID. I honestly didn't mind quarantining at home for the first while because it meant family time and spending time with my then boyfriend, but I really started to miss social life. We did what we could to still hang out with friends while social distancing, but it was tough. And things got really tough when my ex broke up with me right before the start of sophomore year. I fell into a depression and cried probably my body weight's worth of tears. This was a dark time for me, and all I did was lay in bed and cry, of course. But slowly, I started doing what I could to inch out of that dark place. I just had my intake session with a therapist. I started therapy through my university, got into the gym for the first time, and tried my best to socialize and make new friends. I also really focused on doing well in school, and before I knew it, things got better. A lot better.
It feels like things are finally falling in place with lab and school and grades and people, and just for the first time I feel like I'm doing good. Also, I can see my old reflection. Oh, lucky eyelash. I'm making a wish. I wish that everything will work out and people will be happy.
By the end of my sophomore year, I made a ton of friends and made a ton of new memories. It was amazing. And then, almost a year after my breakup, I met someone new. Who, by the looks of this photo, you probably guessed it, we broke up too, but that's coming up later. Now, entering junior year. I was off to a wonderful start. I had awesome friends and an awesome boyfriend, and I was deep diving into my future career of pursuing a PhD in biology until I realized that research was not it. At least, not for me.
Hello. So I'm just gonna be in here for a few minutes to check on my cells and make sure they're growing okay. And that's basically it. I'm not doing much in lab today, but yeah.
I spent a whole summer in the lab and was extremely frustrated with the slow progress, and I began thinking of switching majors. And around this time was when I took my first computer science class, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Well, kind of. If you've ever taken a computer science class, you know that coding is fucking terrible sometimes. It's so hard and you can easily go down the debugging rabbit hole and spend hours stuck on a problem. But I loved the problem solving, the building, the fast-paced nature of it, so I tried to see if I could switch majors, to which the advisor promptly replied with, "It is not feasible to start a CS major in third year. It is feasible to do a CS minor." Your girl was not satisfied with that response, so I met with my academic advisor who told me about this accelerated joint bachelor's-master's program where you can get your master's degree in your fourth year. So I grinded school and computer science for half of my junior year, and I got into the joint bachelor's-master's program. Junior year was pretty smooth sailing for the rest of it. I made new friends, played lots of volleyball, and even rushed a tech frat.
Are you guys good?
I continued doing my student orgs, one of which had a very big project where we built this huge art installation made out of student waste. That was pretty cool.
Steph.
I'm Jeffrey.
We're your two project leaders for this art installation.
Used to be each other's best friends. Yeah. Now we go our separate pathways. But
I also got a student leadership award, so all very exciting things, and honestly, life is pretty good. That summer, I landed my first software engineering internship and pretty much just spent my entire summer working and playing lots of volleyball. And I didn't mention this earlier, but pretty much all throughout my first 3 years of college, I wanted to start a women's volleyball club at UChicago. Volleyball was a huge part of my life growing up, and I really wanted to play club in college, but UChicago has a silly rule where if there's a varsity team for a sport, then there can't be a club team. Up until now, I've only played with our men's club team, but there's huge interest in a women's club volleyball team, so my friends and I started an underground volleyball club, which has been in the works since my first year, but because of COVID, we had to slow down and we couldn't get a team together until now. Though this summer, I was determined to not only personally get better at the sport, but also put together an official team so we can go compete in nationals during my senior year. And after a summer of hard work with my co-captain, we eventually raised enough money, hosted tryouts and practices, and built a wonderful team. That was definitely my focus during this whole summer and the beginning of senior year. Okay, senior year. Besides volleyball, school was pretty much the only other thing going on in my life. I started my computer science master's program, which absolutely kicked my ass. I pulled more all-nighters than I'd like to admit, but I learned a ton. Again, I did the usual: volleyball, gym, code, hang out with friends, and even went to my first tech conference.
Did we get jobs?
No, we got merged.
It was really smooth sailing until my ex and I broke up.
Slightly drunk. Really fucking sad, bro.
He had gotten into medical school, and we didn't want to do long distance. Of course, there were other reasons as well, but ultimately, we did what was best for us, which was to break up. It was horrible. Another really dark time passed for me, but this time was very different from the first because I had amazing people around me. Last time, I felt really alone, but this time, I had friends who would make sure I was eating and helping me out with schoolwork, making sure I was taking care of myself, and they were just there and present. And I'm forever grateful for that, so thanks guys. Even though I was extremely sad, life did not give me a break to breathe. Immediately after the breakup, like literal days after the breakup, I attended my first ever hackathon, which, side note, we got fourth, which is really exciting.
Alright guys, here's the progress. Progress. Button. The camera. Photo!
Then right after that, my friends and I took a spring break road trip to Toronto. Then a couple weeks after that, my team and I drove to Kansas City to compete at club volleyball nationals for the first time ever. So all very exciting things, but it was just one thing after another. Eventually, things slowed down again, and I got to just be sad for a bit, then continue to enjoy the rest of my time in college. I tried my best to focus on finishing out my master's and taking the time to invest in my friends, and I also started to really take going to the gym seriously. I spent the rest of my senior year doing silly things that I hadn't really done before. I finally experienced going out and partying and doing all the stupid shit that young people do, and I felt very free and very grateful. I got a lot closer to my friends at what seemed like the worst possible time to get really close to people, because that's when goodbyes are supposed to happen. But we shared some lovely moments and beautiful memories together.
Was it worth?
before I knew it, it was graduation day. I got my 2 degrees and that was it. Thank you, UChicago, for a wild 4 years. I learned more than I could ever imagine I would. Not just about stem cell regeneration or Dijkstra's algorithm or the sunk cost fallacy or any of that good stuff, but instead about how important it is to put yourself out there and meet people and interact with the world and ask questions, and most importantly, to invest in yourself. I will definitely be taking all of this with me as I move into the, quote, real world. So a genuine, heartfelt thank you. Now, regarding my next moves, I am currently on the job hunt to hopefully become a software engineer. But honestly, who the fuck knows where life's gonna take us? Let's just write it out and try our best. But also, hopefully, I'll have a bit more figured out by the next video. Thanks so much for sticking around, guys. I'll catch you next time. And until then, take care and good luck with everything.
Hey guys, you're looking at Steph's YouTube channel. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, like, dislike if you don't like it. I think that's
Okay,
a good idea.
yeah, fair.
Freedom of speech.
Thank you, Alex.
Sometimes. Don't forget to donate your kidneys.